Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever part that you are dialing from. This is Waycraft. Together we are a podcast show which we have created not as a single person. Here, the guest is the hero. So, we are creating a podcast which talks about the person in spotlight, not the achievement, not the performance, the person, the personality, the purpose. And this Waycraft show, this episode is little special because we are introducing a couple of more channels of distribution. We are now going to be part of Rumble from this show, from this episode, and we are going to be part of Apple Podcast very soon. And I'm very happy to announce that Podcast Index has successfully indexed our podcast XML to various informations sites. So with that, our aim of becoming a non-commercial, widely distributed podcast is slowly coming to a reality. Today's guest, Dr. Ankoor Dasguupta, very esteemed guest. He is a teacher, author, thinker. He is also a businessman, and he wears a lot of hats. More than me introducing him his official side. I know him personally also. I will welcome him and then allow him to introduce the official side. And with that, we will keep the official side aside. So thank you so much, Ankur, for accepting, giving your time. Really grateful and welcome to Waycraft Show. All yours. Kindly, your first comment and please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you so much, Chief. It's a privilege that I have because you hosting this podcast in itself, when we spoke for the first time, first I'll share a little bit about both of us.
Yeah.
So I got so inspired by what you're doing because it's not easy as well. One has to be consciously working towards like the multiple things that you're doing in your field and learning new things and applying them also. So, and when you shared your books with me, I've read two of them as of right now. Shunya, I'm yet to complete. I'm just on the end of it. And it feels really good. About me, I think I've been very grateful to have been blessed with a beautiful life partner, a beautiful daughter who is turning 8 years old this year. And I am what I am because of the people I have around me. My wife, my daughter, um, few very close friends since childhood who are still there, to be counted on fingers, maybe, yeah, three of them who are not living in India, but we meet once a year. And of course, people like you and our community that strengthens our essence as human beings and also making us revisit our purpose. I work as the Chief Experience Officer at Garage Collective, which is an amazing organization with two amazing founders, Saurabh and Anjali, amazing human beings. And it's an advertising firm, and we do some excellent and impeccable magical work together. Apart from that, I think there are multiple things, but it's as you said, this is not about me. This is just a little bit. I love, in a nutshell, I love evolving, and for evolving, I need to keep learning and applying also, not just learning. So
Right.
whenever I read any book, so for instance, your book, I also mark it with a highlighter, any book, so that if need be, I can revisit those things that I really loved about. So that's in a nutshell.
Absolutely. And you said about advertising agency. I can definitely link that because I started my career with advertising agencies. I'm
Yes,
very
yes,
closely related to advertising, and it's a field where you are on the run always. Because what you think a minute before is a old. You will have to keep thinking every single minute, and you'll have to keep
right,
defining your own thought to make it big,
right.
make it bigger and better. Okay, so this, as I said, like your first sentence will probably give me the ideas for the next. So that's the whole way this show actually begins. My
Amazing.
first question is that, like what I know about you is that you are also, we also share the interest on neuroscience, neurobehavior, instead of saying neuroscience, neurobehavior. So how did you discover the path that you are in right now? Was it a organic thing or was it a stumbled upon thing?
Great question. I think because of my grandmother and grandfather, these two people I really applaud because they were the ones who actually taught me a lot of values. I think every kind of behavior crops from the initial 6, 7 years of your childhood where the value system gets imbibed. So small things like if there is an elder in the house, if somebody comes, seek their blessings, touch their feet, have food together, very simple things like go out and play, do some exercise, uh, choose your friend circle correctly. Because parents we don't choose, but friend circles we choose. The people we meet we choose. So that value system helped me to maybe become an overthinker first. So that overthinking thing I gradually overcame during my journey because at that point of time I did not know what is overthinking. I just thought this is thinking. So during school times also I was massively an overthinker, and I did not know if I was an introvert or an extrovert, and what. But always I knew one thing that do good because that was the value system imbibed by my grandfather and grandmother. So whatever you do good to people, do good to yourself, work in that direction. So because of the stories, my grandfather was an excellent storyteller because every night I used to go to sleep and I still remember he used to make me the hero of his story. And he used to tell me, he used to craft a story around me. Like today I'm a police officer, today I'm a doctor, today I'm this, today I'm that. I used to love that because at times he used to tell the story, I used to sleep, he used to sleep. And then after that, he was such a great storyteller. Next day, he used to pick up from the same place where he left. So these kind of minor things, I think, impacted me in a very positive way. And then I gradually discovered that on the path of neuroscience as a topic and a word I discovered much later. But more than that, I think my home had a lot of spirituality. My grandfather, grandmother, maybe not too much of my parents. They were, I would say, they were up to a certain extent, but in the real essence, I got that from my grandfather, grandparents, basically. And I was very close to them. So that's how on the spiritual path, I gradually knew that there was this external force that is always guiding us to become a better version of ourselves. But I was not able to define this as I'm defining this right now. I knew there was something. And I knew there was strength in prayer, but I did not know that how to pray, what to pray, or any mantras or anything, or how to think. But I knew that I need to think something which is in benefit of somebody or in benefit of myself, which does not prove detrimental to somebody else. When I say in benefit of myself, it not be detrimental to somebody. That's my little perspective on this path of neuroscience behavior. That behavior is, according to me, if I put it without any definition, the first thought is comes to my mind is coherence.
Absolutely.
Having coherence about yourself and coherence about who you're talking to. Like when I joined my first corporate job, I used to rush to speak, not even listening to what the other person wants to say. I was like, I know what I need to talk. But in that process, that communication gets lengthier. One has to keep revisiting that conversation because nobody is listening to each other. Everybody wants to talk. So I think that part, it starts there, point A.
Absolutely, absolutely. Amazing, amazing. You kept referring to the thought, overthinker, overthinker. Like I think I can take a lot of liberty and start asking deep questions because you are definitely not only overthinker, you are also overqualified to answer those things also. I keep pondering on this question, Anko. Thought which we get, okay, is it based on the fixed outcomes that we have already set, or is it thought always come on the process which will take us to the destiny?
That's a very nuanced question, and I'm glad you asked it. In my take, I think option B, it's a process. At times, what we do is our brain is a wonderful machine. When people say, let me start by saying, when people say think out of the box,
Yeah.
I always say that why do you need to think out of the box? In the box, you utilize just about 40%, then you'll be like, you're doing much more than what is required.
Yeah.
There's nothing called out of the box because in corporate, people use this word a lot. The brain is a wonderful machine, and who could know this better, more than you. But when I started on this journey of understanding this wonderful system that we have, there is always an element of negativity that comes to support that positivity. Yeah, agar I'm thinking something positive, there'll be always some evil force that will try to disrupt it. That no, this is not right, this is better. You know, this is what I've observed, at least in myself, that the evil is very easy to succumb to.
Mm.
That evil thought, it is very easy.
Mm.
The positive path is slightly challenging and more difficult to pursue.
Mm.
So whenever I have a thought, like I'm talking about my times in early childhood, then when I graduated, then when I started going out in the world, like partying and watching movies, going out to the theaters, and out in the world, the first freedom that I got, right, just out of high school and college, and that I did not know how to utilize that freedom. Like in Spider-Man movie, they say with greater freedom comes greater responsibility or whatever. That part, I think I realized much later that if you're given something, the thought process should work, ideally not opposing that evil, but to let it come and let it go. Like what? It's like a wave that is coming.
Right.
Let the wave come and go back to the ocean. But that is a difficult piece. One has to practice that.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
when I'm meditating, when I started my meditation, initially I found it very difficult to meditate, to focus, to even sit still for 1 minute. 1 minute was a long time. Now, now I can sit without getting perturbed for quite substantial time. Because I now completely visualize that let this thought come. I'm not going to oppose it. Let it come. Let it bounce against my mind. Let it go back. So that thought process has kind of helped me evolve.
Perfect. You nicely explained. I think just to put another perspective, to give a small wordings to the answer which you said, I'm just thinking that what you really explained is basically that's how the hypothesis is formed. There is a thesis and there is an antithesis. Okay. And then thesis and antithesis mix, and then what we get is a synthesis.
Yeah.
Okay. And the synthesis is the action. So as you said, like every time we talk about meditation and like don't think about anything, don't think about it. That's not the way to go. You actually get the antithesis, but you get the synthesis back, and that's where your hypothesis actually comes into perspective.
Right.
Beautifully explained. I'm going to keep on digging into these deep science.
Please, absolutely.
This thing. Okay, now you seem to have, I would rather say you seem to have enjoyed your life. Okay, the way that you put it. And rarely so. Not many people have kind of these things. I have two questions. Number one, was there a decision that kind of changed drastically that you can remember the minute I'm asking it to you right now?
Oh,
Okay.
yes, absolutely. Do you want me to answer it right now, or
Yes,
you're finishing?
yes, answer it.
So when I was not good in mathematics, right? And I did not want to. I have a much more other side of the brain, which
Right,
was not very calculative. So I flunked in maths in class 12.
right,
And this I told in my TED talk as well, because I like not being vulnerable while quoting my failures. I love quoting certain failures of mine because it makes me even stronger. The moment you ask this question, this was a point where it changed a lot of things in my life. I flunked to the extent that I was, would not be getting admissions or anywhere, and it was going to be a very difficult. My parents told me your future is dark. Ghor andhakar hai, your future, nothing is going to happen in your life. And they were not in that mood to make me understand shit, beta kuch nahi hoga, nothing. They did not do anything like that. They was like, you're useless.
Yeah.
Thanks. In that very year, and this is why I believe in the universe. The CBSE rolled out. Oh, sorry, I did not tell you. So there was a compartment. I flunked in the compartment as well. Okay.
Yeah.
That very year, and when I flunked in the compartment, I was like, I'm gone. There's nothing happening further. Because after 12th, what will you do if you flunk in the compartment? That very year, CBSE rolled out the chance for the second compartment. That very year. And we got the news about 3 or 4 days once the result was out of the compartment. Now, my parents have this habit of putting like 4 or 5 tuitions, right? Creating that pressure, diamond pressure ke andar banta. I agree to that,
Yeah.
but maybe not like this. Right? If I'm a turtle, I can't fly. It's as simple as that. I won't even try to. So I told them, I mustered the courage to tell them that, see, this time I'm going to pass. Only one condition, I'm going to have no tuitions. And they started laughing, my parents. They were like, how can it happen possibly? With 4 tuitions, you're not able to do it. How will you do it alone? Like calculus and stuff like that, right? Algebra. Then I said, please, if you put me into tuitions, I'll 100% sure I'll funk again. They agreed. And that's where I realized that I don't know from where that focus came. I don't know till date. I passed, of course. But that when I got the result, I was like, oh, so I can do it. And then my life started rolling step by step. So earlier, I used to be very distressed during my childhood and college days. I used to take distress a lot, but I was a very happy soul. In the school bus, I still remember I was the only person who used to make people laugh. People used to wait for me to come because crack sad jokes and PJs and stuff and all, and people used to keep laughing. I was that guy. And certain people knew that I'm hiding a lot of things within myself. But that one incident changed a lot of things for me because that's where I got to know, oh, if I can do this, then I can do a bunch of other things.
Amazing. Okay. The second part of the same question is that particular decision. Let's say that particular decision did not happen. Okay. What would have been the course of life right now? Will you be able to visualize that somehow you will be coming back to the place where you are sitting right now, or it would have been something different?
I'm a believer. If I had not taken if I had not mustered the courage to tell my parents that don't put tuitions, then also I think I would have been in the same place, same time, doing the same thing. Because what I've understood that there are, for instance, I need to travel from Delhi to Gurgaon. There are 4 or 5 routes that one can take, right? And I love this example because it is so true. It is up to me which route I take. Some is longer, some is patchy, some is faster, but there is traffic. Some there are more red lights, and some people tell, don't take this road this time. There are more red lights. Take this, but it'll take longer. It is my choice what route I take. It is just that I need to be conscious. That time I was not conscious. Something just external told me that you need to do this, crack this yourself, Ankur, without any help. I don't know who told me that. Some external force told me that. That courage, I don't know where did it come from. So I am a believer that today, if there was any other decision as well, I would have been still in the same place because the universe has multiple routes. Probably it would have taken us slightly longer.
Absolutely.
But I would have been in the same place.
This actually, it just came one thing. Okay. If you probably put yourself also in the situation, put all of us also in the situation, give a generic answer. Should the destination determine the skills we have to acquire, or the skill determines the destination where we have to go? Is the question.
That's an amazing question. See, I'll answer that whatever first thought is coming to one mind. I'm not prepared for this question. Okay. I think both things work. It's just that, see, if it is if you're बचपन में लोग बोलते थे okay you need to become a doctor or I want to become a doctor
Yes.
and that time there was only doctor and engineer or lawyer maybe.
Yeah.
So doctor बनना है या engineer बनना है lawyer बनना है, right? There was no other career option. So now there are prompt engineers as well. So
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So if I knew due to any external force or my internal force that I need to become a doctor and I have to do this to become a doctor. Perhaps I would not know that if I'm happy with that decision or sad with that decision. Do I want to become a doctor or not? But I know that this is one route. Somebody told me, and that somebody told me, so I'm telling the same thing myself. Doctor banna hai, so I'm working towards it, and then I become a doctor. And later I perhaps realize I'm not happy doing what I'm doing, or I'm happy doing what I'm doing. So that is the other route. The first route that you mentioned, the skill sets. That route I find personally more interesting because once I imbibe certain skill sets within myself, I'll share my example with you.
Yeah.
When I started, I'm still a tabla player. My riyaz is not that much though, but I love music and percussion, Indian percussion instruments. So I joined as a tabla teacher in my own alma mater in my school. Not many people know this. This is where I got my first salary was what 1,200 rupees. That was too much in those days. 12 and then my principal was kind enough to hire me as a tabla teacher in my own school where I was I used to sit in the same staff room with the teachers who used to teach me, so it was a very different feeling.
Yeah.
After that my first corporate job GE happened, and when it happened I realized that after working for about 3 years or so I realized that what do I really want to do, and that's perhaps first time when the purpose hit me ki what I really want to do. And then I started calculating backwards. In the school I used to write.
Right.
Principal made me the chief editor of the school. I have a natural bent of mind towards writing. My one of the I used to do a lot of poetry, and when I used to show it to my dad, because my dad was the only person who is my family has a very good background of handwriting. Everybody has a great handwriting, and everybody is good with English, starting from my grandfather. Mesmerizing handwriting. I used to look at his handwriting and say that, Dadu, your handwriting is like as if somebody has printed on the card. So when this happened, I realized that I started calculating that these are the things I'm good at. But I did not know I was doing a SWOT kind of a SWOT analysis. I was just calculating what am I good at. Naturally came writing, interacting with people, communication, and that I came to know much later. But I knew that I could communicate, though being an introvert as well. I considered myself. Then I said that I want to be with the media. But I never knew. I loved this Times of India, print media, and whatever was happening with that time. I used to fancy that a lot. But I never knew what do I want to do there.
Yeah.
So when the job opportunity came that time, Times of India Ascent used to be there, job opportunities, right? Ascent Times Ascent.
Yeah.
So I saw a job. I did not even tell my parents. I filled up an envelope, put the resume, couriered it, post or couriered. I don't remember. I think posted only. It reached them, and after perhaps I think 20-25 days or so, we used to have a landline. My landline number was 6440060. I still remember. So that number was so many times repeated. So then the call came on the landline and say, Ankoor Dasguupta, you have been selected for an interview and you come over. So when I went there, and that's how the Times of India job happened, but they found me apt for operations. I did not even know what operations actually means.
Yeah.
Sir, you are good for response department. I said, what response do I give? I don't know even what the department name means, you know. But I went with the flow, and that's when I also recognize the fact that I love going with the flow. I will take up any challenge without even knowing that I'm taking up the challenge.
Right.
Even if I'm 1% sure that I need to do this, I'll probably do this. But that time I was not conscious about that. You know what I mean? That time I was like, there's a challenge.
Yeah.
Nobody's raising their hand, so I will raise my hand.
Right.
And sometimes, in my other jobs also, my earlier job boss used to tell me, "How will you do it? You don't know anything about it." And my answer used to be, "No, I said I'm going to do it, so don't ask me how am I going to do it. I'm going to do it." And this is the actual conversation.
Yes.
Then I took it up as a challenge and did those things. And one of my bosses used to call me Man Friday. He's my Man Friday. He used to instruct me. He can do anything. You give him a task, it'll be done.
Yeah.
So that's how I think skill sets are very important to pick up in the process, and that's the path I took. Maybe not consciously or subconsciously. I don't know, but I knew that I want to be with the media sector. But then I never knew that I have a coach within myself. I love interacting with people, love helping people. That evolved when I, in my mid journey of the career.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You have actually given a nice framework which people can use, and that's the whole purpose of this show itself. Instead of asking something which is fabricated, you are just told how you lived, and you also said that like if you live on the present, and this is how like I managed it, and so if at all anybody can actually relate to, if you convert this into a framework, people will, the minute they read it, they will immediately remember Ankur. Okay, because it's not fabricated; it's a lived framework. That's amazing. See, I am going to probably ask you something which is coming to my mind right now. Let's say that like I'm going to probably play some game or something like that. I don't know if the question is relevant. So let me ask you this. Now you have told you are living in the present, you are always living in the present, and things like that. So um let's say if I have a magic wand, and then I'm going to probably say that you can keep only one decision of your life till today, and rest all is going to disappear. What decision you will keep? And
From my past.
everything. Ankur, what is today's date? 24th of July. Okay. So I'm the God right now. So I'm going to give you only one wish. Keep only one decision of your life, and rest all is going to be, vanquished.
Yeah, without even flinching, I can say one, the failure that I spoke about. I mean, it
Yeah.
could be either of them because that's where it started. My wife and my daughter. I think without Arpita, I wouldn't have been where I am today. I mean, I give 99% credit to her. 1% I'll keep for myself for sure. But she has been. I have evolved after my marriage. Let's
Right.
put it that
Right.
because of her.
Okay. The reason why I ask this is because there is also a neuroscience inside me which is important. How deep is the gratitude? That's what like I wanted to understand. Like what comes first. Okay. And this is also one thing that credits this show in a way, is that people actually, we all think that our accomplishment, our certificates, our awards, our profession is the one which is predominantly determine our personality or success. But the answer that you just gave is something which every single person, whether they come to me for a counseling, the minute I force them into a wall, what remains is the gratitude towards their own personality, where they keep either a family member or any other influencer inside them. That's the only thing which will remain. And that's the whole beauty of human being also. We wear a lot of hats, but when we actually remove all the hats outside, we are a very nice, simple human being. Okay. And that makes me curious to ask this question, Ankur. I want you to delete one success of your life. What success you will delete it? I don't know, maybe it is a game. So I'm just asking.
It's very surprising, Satish, that when you asked about my success, like when I do interviews for candidates, when I ask them, tell me one weakness of yours, they will tell their no. When I ask them the strength of
Strength of it.
theirs, so they
Yeah.
will tell their strength very easily. But
Yeah.
when they ask weakness, you don't have any weakness.
Yes.
So likewise, when you ask me about my success, I think the main success that I had was okay. I'm not talking about then about my value systems. You want me to talk about something which is material or something
Anything,
else?
anything. This is not a question where I know the answer. This is a question where no, I just asked. Like it just came saying that if you have told one simple thought which came in. So I'm next question which came to my mind is, like what if I these questions, Anku, whatever that I'm asking you, in a way, I'm also asking myself, right? So that's how it is. Like my thing,
Well,
like
I'll
yeah,
answer your question. I'll answer your question.
yeah,
The success that I think, the first main success is the first book that I could do, because being that writer within me since school time, that book was a little entombed dream within me. I used to
yeah,
always feel that book, when will I do it, or let's leave it, or whatever. But I always had that within me. But the universe recognized it before even I recognized that.
right,
That is perhaps the biggest thing I have within myself, and that's why I trust the universe so much. If I
right,
have 10 things to be accomplished, right, and I do have, like these are the milestones, these are the things I need to do.
yeah,
Before even me, that external force recognized, you know what, Ankur, this is the thing that you need to do, and this is the time. So when I collaborated with Dr. Sathish, it was he who brought me into this. So I thank him also.
absolutely,
I mean, because it's a lot of work, a lot of things, and a lot of thoughts for who will do this, and we wanted to put a lot of research and work and time into this, and it is difficult to, when you're at a certain stage, it's very difficult to put that time. But when it came out, I was like, oh, it was that easy. When did it happen?
yeah,
When you're waiting for 9 months for a child to be born, you're like, when the child gets birth, and then you're like, oh, the 9 months don't seem, they seem to fly by, right? It's the same
right,
thing.
right,
So I think that is a uh, major success that happened in my life. And one of the success I remember, when I got a double promotion for the first time, that's where I realized that I'm really good. That's when I told myself, Ankur, you're really good. There's something really good about yourself. When I got a double promotion, and it was announced in front of everybody, and out of the blue, I was not prepared. My boss was not prepared to announce this. I think he just decided that, my salary was increased by, I think, what, I don't know, 80-85% or something like that overnight. And he told my reporting manager that get his letter to him tomorrow. And that was one of the highs that I got, that something I'm doing right.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, very interesting. So again, my mind is still not moving out of that question. I want you to delete one success, not say. I want you to delete one success. Which one you will delete?
Delete one success.
Hmm.
Delete one success. I will perhaps delete. Um, oh, that's a very difficult one, actually. I'm just. I can choose to say that I won't delete any success as well.
Yeah, might as well. Probably, take it as a thought where you can actually take it.
Or
Because,
I need to
the
think about
reason
it.
the reason why probably it came to my mind is I'm not sure. The reason is that we are your first, if I remember, your first answer is the one which kind of triggered me to ask this. You said that, it's not a single way. Even if that was not there, somehow I would have reached the same destination. Okay. So, which means that, like even that particular success may not have happened. Okay. You would still be in the same place, which still be in the, same position doing what you're doing right now. I think that probably might have gone into my head and made me ask you this question. Okay, and for the viewers, Dr. Sathish that he referred is not me. Dr. Sathish Padmanabhan is a wonderful gentleman.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, he is
He's my co-author. Yeah.
he is the co-author of the book called Gravitas Blueprint, written by Dr. Ankoor Dasguupta and Dr. Sathish Padmanabhan. It's available everywhere. Search it, buy it. I have bought it. If you want a testimonial, I have put a testimonial also. So the point, okay, and we will try to bring Dr. Satish Padmanabhan also and try to get inside his brain also. So let's also ask the same question to Dr. Satish Padmanabhan, what success he will delete. So let's see what the co-author says. Uh, Again, if he comes in the show. So let's move on. Okay, now since let's take away everything. Let's go to some fantasy world. I don't know why this came. Is
Yeah.
there an invisible hero which you kind of look up to. It can be a person, it can be a god, it can be a spirit, it can be nothing, it can be you yourself.
The invisible hero is my daughter. So, and I
Amazing.
don't say this just because it's maybe some people may find it cliched. I'll tell you the reason also. So children have an ability to ask questions without the fear of being judged. So when she talks to me, and by now I've become even more a keen observer of human nature, be it my immediate family or outside family or friends. I get inspired by her that how fearless, if we have this child alive within us, we won't have these feelings of, oh, what will that person think? What will should I ask this question or not? Or if I have some thought in my mind, she's extremely creative, and everybody has that creativity in them. They just start losing it, I think, by the time they graduate.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying because I lost a lot of creativity in this process, which I had. So that's the one. My daughter is the one who I think I get inspired by every day when I meet her, every day.
Any question of hers triggered back to your childhood and say that, oh my God, I think I should have not decided like this. Any question of your daughter took you back to your childhood decision-making process?
Um, Again, great question. And she asked so many questions, it's very difficult to remember one. But yes, I mean, at times she asked me these kind of questions that were you naughty when you were a child? Um, do you used to study? And we are Bengali, so we talk in Bengali. That do you used to study when you were in school? Were you good at math? Because I don't know how this happened. Both Arpita and I are not good in maths, and she's brilliant. She loves numbers, and I was like, how can she love numbers when we both don't? So she does multiplications, additions, everything like this. And whenever Arpita tells her to study, she's like, I'll do maths first. And I'm like, wow. So we have these conversations around studying, and she helps me go back to my childhood every other day. Like if she asks me to draw a dinosaur, right? So I will draw some rat or something because I know only I can't draw. Like my wife is an artist, but she can draw. But they both have a hearty laugh because every animal I draw looks like the same thing, right? Now, my wife also jokes that you draw a dinosaur or an elephant or a rabbit or whatever, it will be the same shape. So I think it brings me back, gets me back a lot towards my childhood when I used to be a very happy kid. There was this time in between my high school and my graduation where I became an overthinker and not very happy with things. I used to start, crib more than you know um, doing anything else. That oh, this is not good, or I'm cribbing basically. The complaining and cribbing. I don't know how that now. Since we were talking, this suddenly came up to my mind that there was a phase when I was complaining. It was a mixture of complaining and overthinking, a very dangerous combination. It can make you a very negative person in that in ways, and you won't get to know, the other person will get to know when they interact with you, right? So that's where post my marriage, I think we got married in 2008. A lot of things changed because the support system I got as a thinker was amazing. I mean, that changed a lot of things within my life. Sorry, I may have digressed from your question, but I thought whatever was
That's
coming
okay.
to my
That's the whole. See, the entire show is what is there running inside your mind. Like I'm being a neuroscientist, being a behavior. I'm really enjoying it. So where all the horse is running. Okay, so I want to probably keep the horse running. Okay, so let me ask you this few things, which is we psychologists, we always have our own internally. We have a group, and then we kind of ask these questions to each other to understand where our mind is going. Okay, so let me ask you a few questions which I remember. If I'm going to put an empty chair next to you right now, okay, who is the person immediately comes to your mind who you want to sit next to you, and why?
oh, it's my wife for sure. For there's no other. out my
Okay.
wife
Okay.
without even flinching. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I want you to. Okay. Next question. Think that you have a thank you letter which is already written. Okay.
I thought you were going to say, think that you don't have a wife. Now I was going to say.
No, I really wish, and I'm very happy that Arpita came in your life, and I really wish that I get to know her better, and someday I want to bring an artist to my show also. You said that she is not that camera friendly. I will make her camera friendly and bring to my podcast.
Sure, sure, sure.
So okay, my next question is that what comes to my mind is you have written a thank you letter. Imagine you
Hmm.
have written a thank you letter. Okay, that is there sitting in your shelf for a long time. Okay, you are opening a drawer, suddenly the thank you letter is coming.
Hmm.
Okay, first your thought to whom you would have written and why.
I would have written it to that external force. Without even flinching, I can say that. That external force, I would have perhaps written, if it came now, I would have written, Dear Universe, I don't know if you're God or not God or what force
Right,
you are,
right,
but without you, there were certain situations in my life, Satish, those are miracles and it
right,
keeps happening with me. That's
right,
why I believe in miracles. Such miracles have happened that I find it hard to believe, but I still believe in them because they happen. Whenever I think of it, that this needs to happen, it happens.
right,
I mean, starting from the point of time when I still remember, I'm saying this first time on a live show. I've never told this thing to anybody, perhaps. Because it may seem like a very small thing. It was pouring very heavily. It was perhaps 2009, 10, around that time, or 2011 maybe. Yeah, it was pouring heavily. From my office, the metro was completely jammed, choked. There was water up to knees level. I and my office was that time in Saket, and my home was perhaps half an hour by car or auto or whatever, half an hour maybe. Yeah. So started walking. I started walking without even thinking, with a bag on my hand, and I did not have an umbrella also, that because we were not expecting the rains. I just said, "Ki, I'll reach sometime. Let me start walking. What can I do? If there is no auto,
right,
nothing, no transport, nobody's ready to go, because if no auto rickshaw driver was ready to pick up passengers that time. It's in Delhi. It's not like Bombay, right? There
yeah,
are people who are not very helpful as well.
okay.
So I started walking. And I still remember, I walked till about PVR Saket, the PVR people in Delhi would know.
Mm-hmm.
And I just closed my eyes, standing on the footpath for maybe 15 seconds. And I asked for help. This auto driver comes, he takes a U turn, he stands in front of me and he asks me, Kahan jana hai?
Wow.
And that time I had goosebumps and I was like, and he agreed. And he was a good man.
Mm,
He was a godsend man.
mm,
And this is just one instance that I'm saying. One instance.
mm, mm.
It took us about an hour to reach home because there was conditions were not. But he dropped me home, and amazing. And this is just one instance.
Right.
So I feel really thankful. If that letter I need to write, first and foremost, I'll write it to that external force. That every time I find myself like yahan khaiye ya kuan hai, like there is nowhere to go. You'll fall either ways. Then something comes and just picks me up, lifts me up. I don't
Perfect.
know how that happens.
Perfect, perfect. Amazing, amazing. Okay, I'm going to stick with the same question, but instead of God, I'm going to come down to a human level now. Okay, but I'm going to twist the question different. You have a thank you letter already written, okay, to a human being in your life, but you will not send it to them. Is there anybody? I don't want you to name it if it is too uncomfortable, but is there a situation? The reason why I'm asking is that, there are some hidden or there are some soul influencers over a period of time, the way would have drifted in a different way. Okay. We know that we are thankful to them, but there may be situations where our message of thank we would have not given, and even today we will not send it.
There is one such person, one of my ex-bosses. Um, Again, this thought came to my mind like this. Such a great guy. I think he had a big hand in uplifting my career, in my career journey. Big hand. But the only reason, and people in the industry also at times say that, how come you worked with him for substantial time? Because he's a very difficult person to work with. But I always told him, see, I did not find it difficult.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it happened, but I knew his persona was very difficult to work with. Very impulsive, very rash. So when we drifted apart, because of the threshold I had, it kind of broke at a point of time.
Right.
Because of one nasty conversation that happened.
Yeah.
But I always thank him. If there's a letter, I will actually thank him for those times. Yet he has always uplifted me. Always. Even if he used to put me down, that was for uplifting me. So there is this one person, one of my ex-bosses, I would thank him. This is a great guy. It's just that he was very impulsive. I'm not impulsive. I always try and stay calm. I take my time to decide. Opposite personas. So I will thank him. I will not send the letter to him, but that letter will be like thanks from the bottom of my heart, because he had a big hand in shaping me up from a Jawan to a commando.
Wow. I mean, this is nice. I'm going to ask you a question which I asked to one of my friend couple of days back. Okay. Because that is the one thing which came to my mind right now. I'm asking you is that, was there a moment when you stood in front of the mirror someday and suddenly you realized that, oh my God, I've changed? Is there a moment like that? Was there a moment?
Oh yes, yes. I by the way, I love the mirror work that I do. I love talking to myself in the mirror. But that very moment happened very recently. I think around approximately close to 3 years. Yeah, 3 years back, I think. I looked myself in the mirror and said something has drastically changed. But that was the point of time when a lot of things were happening with respect to a lot of things were coming to me. And I was like, oh, I have to do this also, this also, this also. All the things that I wanted, they were coming to me. Now, with greater power comes greater responsibility. Was that point of time I was like, when certain people I talk to, oh, this is not for me, let this go or let this go. I was like, I wanted to grab each and every opportunity. I said, everybody has 24 hours. I also have 24 hours. But if these opportunities are coming to me, they're coming for a reason.
Yes.
I can't give the excuse that I do not have time or I am lazy or complacent or let it go. Why let it go? No. That was the point of time when I started taking this. I realized I can take up. I became a better time manager. I became even more focused, even more disciplined, and I'm a believer in discipline. I'm myself a very disciplined person, and that's one of the things I love about myself. Extremely disciplined. So I became even more focused and more disciplined. I'm very conscious about time because time is the only luxury that nobody has.
Correct.
So I respect time. Time respects me. And then I told myself in the front of the mirror that, Ankur, you're really doing good. Something has changed. I did not, mention that what has changed, what not. I smiled to myself. I still remember that, Ankur, something has really changed. Make the most of it.
Right.
Go with the flow.
Right.
So I started doing that.
Amazing.
3 years back, I think. 3 years back, approximately.
Okay, fantastic. See, the minute you say that something is going very good and you spoke to yourself, it has happened a lot to me in my life. Okay, and that is something which I want to ask you. Is there or was there a victory which you celebrated yourself alone? Either the time was not right to share with, or at that particular point in time, situation was not good, or at that point in time, there were no people who would probably appreciate your victory. Was there a victory which was inside your heart alone, which you celebrated alone? You
Oh,
need
yes,
not,
yes.
you need not mention it if it is too personal, but yeah, but was there it is, and what was that moment? How
That
did
big,
that shape you?
I'll tell you. Uh, Again, this is one thing I've never shared with anybody. That one time, it was the year, I'll tell you the year also, 2000 maybe year 2000, 2001, around that time.
Right.
I was wanting to just break up with my girlfriend because it was taking too much of mind space. And I'm saying this on a serious note. I realized that I'm spending too much time doing unconstructive things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Talking about unnecessary things. I did not know what was love or what was not love or what, but I knew that something is taking away energy from me. I realized at that particular point of time. But it is, as you know, it's not very difficult to break up and stuff like it's easy to talk. But when that breakup thing happened, because I mustered the courage to and kind of put my foot down and just make it shut. When that happened, I celebrated because the next few years was amazing smooth ride. I'm not saying this because of anything else, because that point of time I realized that if I need to move fast, I need to be alone.
Right. Right.
If I need to move fast, I don't need anything beside me. Just few good friends. That's it. I need to move fast, run fast, and I needed that time with myself.
Absolutely.
That was a great thing, according to me.
Great. Um, I will not take much of your time, but we have two more segments to go, one more segment to go, I would say. But I will actually give you a wrap up. I have all the questions which I asked right now. And the reason why I feel that it has come to a holistic perspective is because we are not asking some random questions. I'm a true believer that the human mind is the most powerful, activity. We have explored your personal side. We have explored your SWOT analysis per se, which you actually carried through. We have explored all your actual success, which is not in your LinkedIn. Okay, so that is the actual success, and we have actually seen the journey, the destination, the process, the skill. I think what more is needed for a masterclass? Okay. So I think when we two have a very open mind and start talking to each other, things will come in perspective that it will convert into a lesson or a learning for somebody else. Okay. With this per se, we have now covered your experience angle. Okay. The last segment is I'm going to ask you 7 questions. This is 7 questions which I ask in every single episode. Same question. It's a long form research which we in MESMA is my company, which is a behavioral research company. So which we ask to make sure how a human response system, okay, not the decision system, human response system works when we start asking some inner questions. When I mean inner questions, like inner self or inner awareness question. Okay. So if you are ready, I want to, start asking you that questions. You are on mute.
Sorry, always ready.
Okay, perfect. So the question is 7 questions. It because you are also into neuroscience, it actually handles all the 7 layers of your inner aura
Right,
and the
right.
character. So it starts from the outer and it comes towards the inner. So I didn't explain this to anybody else, but I am explaining it because I'm sure you will catch it. So might as well explain it. So
Done.
the first question is that who are you when nobody else needs anything from you?
When nobody else needs anything from me,
Keep the answer
Oh,
objective, like a bullet points, because this is a response which
okay.
AI will track and then will form a response cloud from it. Give me
I'm
like
at peace.
word.
I'm at peace.
Lovely. Okay. Question number two. What part of yourself do people benefit from the most, but rarely notice?
That I'm an extrovert.
Okay. So
That
introvert
part.
to extrovert.
Uh,
Okay. What became stronger in you because life hurt you or when life hurt you?
giving. Giving.
Perfect.
I've
And
become a giver. Earlier, I was a receiver, but now I've become a giver. But I still know how to receive. Receiving is also important.
yeah, amazing. Okay, my question number four. What ordinary moment in life feels extraordinary to you?
What ordinary? Sorry, I did not get that.
What ordinary moment in your life feels extraordinary to you?
Oh, getting that plate of food daily that my wife cooks. It's I can't express. I mean, how blessed I am.
Hmm,
Wow.
amazing. Okay, question number five. What silently disappeared from your life as you grew older?
Any evil thoughts that used to come to my mind, which is not beneficial to myself. Any kind of evil thoughts.
Amazing.
The urge to do anything which is not morally, ethically correct, or or base my time. It kind of disappeared.
Amazing. Okay, my sixth question. What kind of human connection do you think the world is starving for right now?
Silent. Silence. When two people can communicate in silence, just by being together, sitting together, and still silent and still communicating, it's magical.
Beautiful answer. Okay. My last question and my actually very favorite question is when everything else is removed, who are you?
When you will rip me off of everything, I'm a receiver. That point of time, I'm a receiver. I'll receive everything. I'll so that I can give.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect. This brings the end of my human archive questions. But based on things that you answered, I want to pick up two things and I want to ask you this thing. The first is the silence. Okay. I want you to talk about silence. What, according to you, is silence?
Silence is a space where, according to me, what I have observed about myself, that there are certain moments, like when you're having your food, when you're sleeping, when you're talking to somebody, and I've gradually have practiced and become more conscious about it. You have to start being in that moment, and being in that moment needs your mind to get silent,
Yeah,
not your mind racing that what to ask next, what to listen next, or my racing towards that side. Because some of the times, when we during my initial days, it happens at times also with my wife till today. She's talking and I'm like doing something. You're not listening to me. I'm like, oh no, no, I listened. She said, okay, what did I say? So I said, oh, you. Then I got trapped, right? I
yeah,
actually did not listen. So I think silence is a space for me which enables anybody to become their next best version, because
absolutely.
that is the space where you will be able to absorb to then release.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you will only release. You won't absorb anything.
Perfect, perfect. And this, I'm not sure, maybe you heard me speak before or not, but this is one thing which I keep telling. Okay, every time you read a book, the end of the book is not the end of the book. It is actually a starting of the next version of you here. So you beautifully said. Okay, my last questions, and this is the real last question. Okay, I promise. The thing is that you have summarized your personal journey. Okay, let's say that we are going to make another Ankoor to travel the journey. Will you allow that person to travel the same journey Or is there a catch point? You need not answer based on your life. I'm saying, like, give me a catch point so that the awareness is set in them so that they can have a journey with awareness as their partner. Is my question relevant, or is my question understand?
Absolutely relevant question, and I have the answer. I've been asked this question in various forms, and I think it's a deeply relevant question. The answer that I have is very simple, yet very complex for people to adhere to. Do not waste time. There was a point in my life where I wasted my time in unnecessary things. Time is the only thing that will never come back.
Right.
So when I wasted my 5 6 years in unnecessary things, unnecessary, absolutely unnecessary, I had no clue what I was doing. I still would change that part when I can get those 5 6 years back and I can make the most out of it. That is the only thing. Otherwise, I have no regrets. I would continue the same way.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ankur. Your closing remarks, your closing thoughts.
My closing thoughts is first of all, thanks to anybody who is watching the show, the Waycraft show, because I think what you're doing is something very not delusional. It is real. It's not crafted. Uh, and when you said no need to be prepared, I was very happy because I love doing these extempo things when I can talk at comfort. No script. Okay, what do I have? What is the next question? I have to answer this. That is very scripted, right?
Yeah.
And I get inspired by people like you. When I'm saying this, touching my heart, that when I talk to people like you, and there are so many others as well in the community, like ICF and PSAI that I'm a part of, Harvard Network, I realized that people all have so wonderful journeys in their own lives. People have had a share of their failures, successes. The root of everything that joins together people is compassion and humility and the ability to give. Very simple, but very difficult to adhere to. It's very surprising. People love complexities. People love anything which is unnecessary pain. I will go through this bad phase,
Yeah.
but not learn anything from it.
Yeah.
It is very easy to break away from all this and say that um, any moment that I comes next, I need to be compassionate.
Right.
Is it benefiting somebody? Is it benefiting me in some way where it is not harming anybody? Very
Right.
simple equations, right? That's it. Go ahead and do it. Even if you're like in business, I say, even if you're in the C suite, even if you're like 75%, 80% right about something, go ahead and do it. You won't be maybe 100% right, but go by your gut. That's the thing that we have, right? Sitting on the top of the branch, we can see, have a panoramic view right at the top.
Absolutely.
Now, I can't be 100% sure, but I can be 80% sure. Basis my gut and basis my experience, I'll take that call. So that is the ability to and have my team fall back on me.
Right.
So I think it's very important to be this person in personal life as well in professional life. I never talk about work-life balance. In my closing remarks, I'll say that according to me, there is no work-life balance.
Yes.
There is not. It is not even required. It is a created thing. It is an artificial intelligence thing. Work-life balance. People want equilibrium everywhere. My laptop has to be like this. My phone has to be like this. I want to be standing like this. Everything is okay. But if you're working towards that, then that is not the right focus. You're spending, like, if I'm spending 13 to 14 to 15 hours doing something I enjoy, I love my work, and my wife is happy about it. No complaints. She's handling the other side. We meet, we talk, we spend time. We are both early risers. We spend that time. Our daughter also wakes up early. I'm just grateful for what is happening in my life. And everybody needs to at least work towards that rather than saying, oh, this is not going right. Oh, this is not going right. How will I take this revenge from this person? That person hurt my ego, so I will do this. I'm working towards something which is, and what will you do taking that revenge? What will you do satisfying your ego?
Correct.
And I'm just saying people are working towards, and I was also into this, mode many years back. I was like thinking about, as I said, unnecessary things. So think about the things, to my audience I'm saying, which are necessary to you.
Absolutely.
That's it. And love all, serve all. In Hard Rock Cafe in the US, when I went there was this glass. I still have it. It got printed. I still have that glass. Love all, serve all. I still remember. Lovely, right?
Absolutely. Fantastic. What a wonderful way to close. Thank you so much for your time, Ankur. And to all the audience, you have actually seen the live display of Gravitas and by the man himself. This is one of the best episodes. Thank you so much. And again, Gravitas Blueprint, written by Dr. Ankoor Dasguupta, Dr. Sathish Padmanabhan. If you are watching this, search, you will get it everywhere. And thank you so much, Ankur. And to all the audience, thank you so much for being in Waycraft, supporting us. We are there in multiple platforms right now. We will keep growing. And as I always conclude, always be healthy, happy, loving, and ever smiling. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Satish. Thank you for bringing me in and wishing your show a great, great, great success from my heart. Always.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care.